Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield here in Las Vegas at the Hooters Hotel and Casino at a wonderful show. It's new, it's different, and it's something that I've really looked forward to coming to because it's an interesting concept, mixing music and magic and piano. We've got Jarrett and Raja. How are you both?
We're great, Alex.
Doing great, Alex.
Great to see you here at Hooters.
I know. But I love their wings. And did you know, I'm from a little village called Nottingham in England, and we have the only Hooters in the UK.
Is that right?
Really?
I don't know why, but we must have the best Hooters of everyone else in England.
So it's meant to be. So you've come to the mothership.
Indeed. And it is a curious place. I mean, here we are just slightly off Las Vegas Boulevard. Right. It's one of the few places where you can park for free, which is a big asset. People don't want to pay $20 to come and see a show on top of the ticket fee.
This is right. This is the big new thing in Las Vegas. All of these grand hotels that are charging you, unbelievable fees to park. And there are very few places. Hooters is one of the last few. And it means a big thing to a lot of locals and tourists, for coming here. So.
Yeah, locals especially don't like to pay for parking, but here it's free, so we bring it up on the show, It's an asset for the property, yeah.
Let's talk about you two, because, you've had a life in magic and you've dedicated your lives to this. And I love people that care and work hard at it. People who sort of phone it in, I don't think will last in this town or in the business. You've done everything. You've been here before, you've gone away, you've done big TV shows, and you're back. Firstly, why did you want to come back? I guess life on the road's tough.
Life on the road actually is fun. We've traveled a lot of places, Asia, Europe, and we've always had fun doing it. And to be quite honest, UK was one of our favorite places to be. London, Manchester, remember all that, and Blackpool. We've kind of been everywhere, which is a lot of fun. But Las Vegas is home. So the allure to be here was always big because it's home, and we could go to work every night and go back home, which is actually great.
One of the things that I was very envious of Lance Burton was the fact that I would always see him. He used to live up by where I live on the east side of town here in Las Vegas, and I would see him in his Corvette going to the gas station,
This is true.
Filling up, going to work, and he'd wave at me. I'd be like, hi, even though I was jetting off someplace or whatever to another country, but he was going just to work and coming back. It is so, in one sense, surreal, and on the other sense, so exciting to drive to work. The other day, I was saying to myself, I'm in the car and I'm driving to work to do a show.
Do you remember how envious we were? I remember actually running once, no kidding, into Lance Burton in the gas station. And we were doing some shows in the UK, and Lance actually said, so how many shows have you guys done this year? And I said something like 50 or something. He said, oh, I'm on my 287th show. And I'm like, really, Lance? Thanks, man. I appreciate that. He was like bragging to me to be a local entertainer.
I love it.
It's an amazing life you guys lead, and I come here once a year and see a ton of shows within a very small space of time. But what's ironic is you're doing that number of shows day in and day out. And you look at Lance, he was doing 2 shows a night there at Monte Carlo. I saw that just before it closed. Yeah. And it really was the last proper magic show with real close-up and that old craftsmanship. And you seem to embody that. This is not a huge theatre that's relying on big speakers with great lighting and all that. It's purely down to your charisma, your warmth, your charm, and your skill, isn't it? That's what you're playing on, and that's how you got your standing ovation.
Yeah, this is true. I've been my mentor in magic was a man by the name of Charles Reynolds. Charles Reynolds was Harry Blackstone Jr.'s basically his magic consultant through all his years, and Doug Henning's brain to magic. A brilliant man, and so a lot of my schooling came from that. I'm only mentioning this because I did not go to Juilliard. I went to Hogsworth, right?
Hogsworth.
Right. But
couldn't even get in there, by the way.
The point of it is that I learned the basics of what good magic is, and to keep that, and that just because something is old, it doesn't mean that it's not new, And Lance Burton, his show, you're right. A lot of what he did was based on old concepts, but the magic was new and presented in a new way, and that's it's carrying on the torch, and that's that's something that we strive to do.
And thank God here in Las Vegas, the people who come here still love it and want it. And you look up and down the strip, there's probably more magic shows left per square inch than any other type of show. You're a phenomenal musician. You've got such an incredible gift. I mean, was there ever a decision, do I go and be a classical pianist and keep my mouth shut and just play, or do I become a magician musician?
And that's an excellent question, Alex. Yes, there was a point where I had to make, in a sense, a decision. I've committed myself to the show. I'm having a great time doing it, but it is important to me as a musician to carry on with my concerts, and I teach. So I have a studio of 15 students, and I do play concerts. Obviously, with the show being a resident show here in Las Vegas now, it's hard to fly out and do a concert. But I am still doing concerts, primarily in New York at the Met with my friend Ralph, as we do concerts there. So that's important for me. One, it keeps my chops up, my technique is very, very important. Otherwise, playing what I'm playing the show now is difficult, but it's not a concerto, you know, so I need to keep my chops up. But yes, there was a decision made at one point, but I tried to keep up my concertizing as well, to keep me sane.
Yeah. And I guess it's the same with any magic trick, isn't it, really? To get it down and tight and beautiful and polished and crafted, you've got to do it over and over again. You've got the same type of brain, albeit a different skill.
It's very true, and you know, it's the irony of it. We both, our work is our hands, you know, and the magic. A lot of the magic that I do, I've been doing this for years and years and years. Maybe perfecting it and perfecting it, and perfecting it. But it's live theater, so you know, you're always doing something to make it, enhance it a little more. And it's the same with if you're playing a piece.
But,
you know,
I think you've probably noticed this. For us, it is, yes, of course, the magic's important, the music's important. But in our show here, in this intimate room, the personalities and our ability just to have fun with the audience, you know, and we truly, probably could tell, have a lot of fun with the audience, and that's the best part of it. We do what we do. He does the magic, I do the music, but to be able to interact and to joke with the audience and be in comedic situations, some poignant situations, you know, that's really where I think the magic lies, you know.
How long did it take you before you could walk on a stage and feel like nothing could go wrong? Because if it goes wrong, you'll find a way out.
Years.
That's a very good question. All I know is that you know what? Every time something happens that maybe I'm not too happy about that has happened, I write it down on a list, and I have a list in a book that I have. Yes, I still write it in the book, and sometimes one day I'll go back to that and everything. But Roger's right; it's years, and it just takes experience. That's all it is. It's just experience.
And that's the beauty we're waiting for, isn't it? That moment where you can ad lib and make it your own and turn the show from something that's scripted and pre-planned into something that's live and real.
Exactly. Well, that's what's most important. If you're not authentic, if you're not you know, really organic with the audience, they sense it. You know, if you're just scripted, for the beginning of our years, we were scripted, and we felt that that fourth wall, you know. But over time, that disappears. The comfort level really comes up, and it's a party, really. And in a room like this, how can it not be? You know, it's so intimate and wonderful.
This is a dinner show as well, so before we had some lovely chicken and things and vegetables and dessert and cookies, and there are people enjoying that, and when you come out there are probably people doing things in the audience that maybe they think you can't see. There must be moments in Las Vegas where you pinch yourself and think, am I really stood on a stage right now? Because this is Vegas, they do what they want, don't they?
Well, we haven't actually seen that here in this room.
Well, we did see one night. One night we did have a particularly loud woman, and she was having such a hoot. I'm not sure what she was on, but she had a great time. She had a great time, and you know, that kind of translated for the rest of the audience. And in fact, because the stage is right there, to us as well. So that was kind of fun. But you're absolutely right. It's Las Vegas. Anything goes here. So.
And what people forget as well, this is a very small town. I mean, we're here tonight with Murray, who's another magician. You guys all know each other. Right. Although this is the biggest place on earth, it's also the smallest. It's a community of very few people, isn't it?
This is true. It's a very small town. Everybody knows everything about everybody else. I mean, you get to a certain level where you sneeze and you know about it, you know, and it's true, you know. And who's coming into town, especially in the shows, you know, what theater is opening up and whatever, you know. It's amazing how quickly news goes.
But you know, that's kind of like the way Las Vegas has always been. You know, with the entertainment industry, the entertainers here have always been supportive of each other, and it's been a very tight-knit group and tight-knit community. We have parties at our houses, and we all come over and we have a good time. We've hosted several parties at our house, and it's fun because you get to share your experiences, you get to share the stresses of what we do.
Because you all have two mutual aims, really, which is A, to survive, because this is the toughest town on earth,
Yes,
and B,
true.
to entertain. That's all you're here for, really. There's no other purpose for an entertainer in Las Vegas, is there?
No, I would not at all. And you know, the bottom line is butts and seats, and that's what we're all really grasping for. You know, it's whatever it takes to to get noticed and get people to come here. Because you're right. I mean, Las Vegas is, we could go to any other city in America and probably do pretty well, as Lori Greiner told us on Shark Tank.
That's exactly right.
You know, she said, go to Chicago, you know, and we were like, no, we're going to go to Las Vegas.
But, you know, Jarrett told me at the very beginning, you know, in show business is the big word. And at first, you know, as a Juilliard grad, where it's all about the, you know, the music and the art and what we do, the integrity of what we do, I was like, oh, come on. No, it's about the music. It's about the art. It's about the art. But you know what? In Las Vegas, my God, it really is. It's the business. It's the marketing. You know, it's the PR. It's selling your show, which is not a bad thing. It's not like you're compromising your integrity artistically. That is there. But you do need to do this additional component of who you are, which is being a businessman and promoting what you do. And actually, to be honest, when you have a good product and you love what you do, it's kind of fun. I mean, we're kind of having fun doing it here. You know, we're not doing it. Our room is what, 120, 140 people. If we did in a 700-seat theater, of course, it increases in magnitude. But for what we're doing here at Hooters, we're having fun doing it. We've got a great team. We've got a marketing team. The hotel is being supportive. We're having fun building. You know, it's all about building, and that's kind of fun to do.
And you're in the entertainment capital of the world doing what you love, and you can't ask more than that. And you must never take that for granted in a way, because I know in this town it's easy to sort of get bored with yourself because you're doing it so regularly.
Absolutely. It's easy to take for granted. We don't take it for granted. We always go home at night and just pinch ourselves and say, we're very lucky to do this. You know,
do the big plug then. I mean, one thing about this show is it'd be great for families and kids. We should say that. There aren't many shows that are suitable, that are fun, that don't have swearing, that have sort of something going on all the time. This show really is wonderful for that. I mean, you're both stunningly talented in your individual ways, and bringing that together is so unique. And you do need a USP in this town. To be a magician is not enough. You've got to be the magician and the something to survive, haven't you? And you've got that. What a gift.
Exactly. Well, you know, and I always say this kind of embarrassed, but we've always wanted to be the next Siegfried and Roy. That was always our dream. And when we went on America's Got Talent, we said that in our B-roll. When we went on Shark Tank, we said that in front of the sharks. And you know, they are really an inspiration for us in what they built. You know, what they built. They started as a cruise ship act. And look where they went. You know, and so in our rise, which is gradual as we go up and up, we always think of them and think about what they would do in certain situations. You know, if we're in a certain pickle about a marketing issue or whatever, we always say, well, what would those guys do? You know, and that for us is they're big role models.
You do know that they had tigers and not pianos. You know that.
This is true. But Liberace and Victor Borga had pianos, so that's the angle we bring.
Exactly.
It could be Liberace and Roy. I mean, this could be the new branding. Why don't you try it?
Exactly.
This is true. Exactly.
You guys are stunningly talented. Thank you for having me at the show tonight. Come and see it here at Hooters in Las Vegas. It's on at 7 o'clock. You can have dinner from 6 o'clock in this beautiful ticket for about $50. You can be entertained and dine. Where do you get that in Las Vegas? Here at Hooters with Jarrett Raja. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thanks, Alex. Great seeing you.
Thank you, Alex. It's been a pleasure meeting you. And yes, we're going to come back to the UK. We can't wait.
I know. We can't wait.